How's it going?
It's going really well. I would say it's getting better and better, and by that I mean that when I first heard of formative assessment, it intimidated me. I wasn't sure what it meant, what they looked like, how was I going to figure out how to implement that along with everything else. And what I found by taking it one step at a time is that formative assessments are actually quite simple to use and create, and actually really doable for kids in a short amount of time that provide me tons of information. A lot of information for my instruction and where I'm headed next, a lot of information about my students and the teaching I've already done, some lessons that maybe were really right on and some that maybe weren't, and what next steps are.
Okay, so when you first got started on it, you tested the waters by doing an assessment here or there. How often are you administering formative assessments, would you say now?
Now I'm looking at it as I'm planning, and I'm thinking, what formative assessment can I use, which is really exciting to me. It's almost like before I think of anything else, I want to go to that. And so I'm getting them in more and more frequently, using them across curriculum as well. Now I started with writing, now I'm into math, and then I'm looking at social studies and saying, oh, what formative assessment can I do here? Because it really targets my instruction. It really leads the way and has made my job in many ways easier. I hate to use that word with teaching, but it has. And so I would say I get at least one or two a week. That's with a written work sample from the kids that I can really evaluate. And they're the formative assessments that you can do without any written work, on the fly with kids, that I think teachers use a lot. But I'm trying to really focus on those that I do get something back from the students, rather than just a fifths to 5 or a scale of a thumb check or a ticket out. I want a little bit more concrete information.
So tell me what you do with that when you pull these, and I think you've been doing some of them on index cards, haven't you?
Half sheets, index cards, sticky notes.
What do you do when you collect that formative assessment?
Well, and I'm sure there are many ways I can use it, but right now what I'm really comfortable with is just the sorting. The kids that are really excelling in that one area, kids that are right where I want them to be, and then the kids that need some more instruction. And then I look at that and think, what am I going to do? It's really differentiated my instruction, which for me has always been, gosh, how do I differentiate this lesson? I'm thinking about that, and formative assessment almost does it for me. I've got my levels of kids, who needs to reteach, maybe who could work well with a small group or a coach, and work independently. And for example, I did one where I had a small group of kids that I just needed to work small group with, and the others worked together as student coaches, and they did a great job and loved that responsibility. So they moved on, and I targeted those skills with those kids that needed just another dose, and it felt really good.